It is exhausting to constantly be wondering what people think of you. And if there are people out there that are judging you, they have too much time on their hands and their opinion isn't worth it anyway. It doesn't matter. You can love your job and also love being a mom. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Emma. This week we are continuing the life advice series, I guess, that I've started on my channel. And this week's theme is more of a girl chat, girl talk kind of Q&A. Just to preface this video, if that's not your jam or has no application to you, I won't be offended if you don't watch this video. But if you have not seen my life advice video that I posted about a month ago now, I will link that above for you. Make sure you go watch that. But I pretty much just asked you over on my Instagram, which is also Elementary with Emma, for kind of a reverse Q&A. So rather than you asking me questions about my life, you ask me questions about your life. And I got such great feedback from that video, and I loved filming it, and I loved just getting to feel more connected to y'all and get to give you my advice, even if it wasn't great advice. Like I said, this one will be more girl talk focused. I just had a bunch of questions that I didn't get to in the last video, and a lot of them were kind of in the girl chat, girl talk category. So I just figured I would make one whole video about all of those things. Anyways, before we get started, if you are new here, my name is Emma, and I would love for you to subscribe and stick around for all my future videos. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? My hair is probably gonna bother me this whole video because I didn't feel like curling it today, and I despise my hair when it's straight, so just bear with me. Grab a cup of coffee. Look at this cutie mug, you guys. I just got it from Target. It's so darn cute. But grab yourself a cup of coffee, cup of tea, glass of water, glass of wine, whatever you're feeling. Okay, so I'm gonna start with all the questions that don't have to do with pregnancy or motherhood, just in case you're here for a girl talk but you don't really care that much about motherhood. Okay, let's start with a good one. I got asked a couple questions about how do you have confidence, how do you build your confidence, how do you genuinely stop caring what other people think about you. I can just remember in my childhood even struggling with things like this, and it just makes me so sad to think about me as a little girl feeling insecure or struggling with what are people thinking about me. And that was always just my biggest concern and worry at all times. And it was exhausting, and it lasted my whole childhood, my whole middle school, high school years. Eventually, I just got tired of it. It was exhausting. And if you are dealing with that, or if you've ever dealt with that, which a lot of people, most people probably do at some point, you'll know it is exhausting to constantly be wondering what people think of you. And I can't say there was this magic fix that one day I suddenly woke up and had all the confidence in the world and I truly didn't care what people thought. But I think truthfully, I just got sick and tired because I realized nobody else cares. Truthfully, everyone else is worried about themselves. We're all just naturally self-centered. We're always worried about what we look like. We're worried about others' perception of us all the time. And everybody else is thinking the same thing. That's what I learned. Everyone else is just worried about what they're being perceived as. Nobody else is looking at you and tearing you apart and nitpicking all the things that you're wearing and the things that you're saying like you are. They are so focused on themselves, and they're probably having the same thoughts that you're having about themselves. Realizing that as I got older, went to college, saw other people dealing with this, really made me realize what a waste of time it is to just worry about what other people think of you, because you could do everything right. You could say the right things all the time, and still somebody out there is going to have something negative to say. So what is the point? Because realistically, I never look at other people and nitpick what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're wearing. Like, I don't care. Live your life, do what you want to do. And if there are people out there that are judging you, they have too much time on their hands, and their opinion isn't worth it anyway. It doesn't matter. Do I have any practical tips for you to wake up tomorrow and suddenly stop caring what people think? No. But I just want you to think about the fact that everyone out there is just worried about themselves. And in terms of having confidence, I still feel like this is something that I am daily working on. I have really learned over the years what my style is. If I'm comfortable, then I'm usually confident, and that's whether that's like what I'm wearing, where I'm at, who I'm hanging out with. If I feel comfortable, then I am so much more confident than if I'm super outside of my comfort zone. I'm wearing something that's like stylish but not me at all. I don't know if that makes any sense, but stop, I guess, looking at social media, looking at what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is wearing, because that's also going to make you insecure. It's such a personal thing that you have to find. And so stop, I guess, both in finding confidence and in caring less what other people think. You have to stop looking around you and focusing on what do you love about yourself? What do you feel the most comfortable doing and wearing? What brings you the most joy? It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what they're wearing. It's just a waste of your energy. Okay, I spent 10 minutes on that one question, so we're gonna have to go a little quicker, Emma. Okay, let's talk about anxiety. I got a couple people asking if I dealt with anxiety, some like things that I did to help anxiety. First of all, if you are dealing with anxiety that feels unmanageable, or even if you've been dealing with it for an extended period of time, please go seek out help. Every season brings different challenges and different joys, and in some seasons I really struggled with anxiety, and in others it got a lot more manageable. In those manageable seasons, I would always tell myself, see, I didn't need to go anywhere. I didn't need to get therapy. I didn't need to talk to anybody. I didn't need on medication. Like, I was fine. Guess what? It would come back. I feel like every time it came back, it was almost a little bit harder to manage. So that is my number one tip. Do not be afraid to go get help. I know that that's so scary. Trust me, I do, but it is worth it. It has taught me very specific things to help me work through those moments, and I've already seen them work and make such a difference. And so I can't give you like super specific advice because your mental health journey is different than mine. I will say, sometimes I notice my anxiety worsen when I am very focused on me, my world, my problems, my stressors, whatever is going on. I hyperfixate on that problem or that big fear or whatever it is. Of course, it's going to get bigger and scarier because that's all I'm focusing on. That's all I'm looking at is that one thing, and I kind of have tunnel vision on that anxiety. I have noticed if I look up a little bit and open up the tunnel vision and look around and realize there's so much around me, it doesn't go away, but it doesn't seem as big and scary because it's not the only thing in my sight. I know that sounds so silly, but I swear it has helped me to like literally look around and think of things around me that I'm so grateful for, physically around me or like happening that day, that I'm like, wow, this is such a blessing. This is such a joy in my life. Physically feeling my feet on the ground, looking around and thinking, I am so grateful that I am in this house right now. My baby is sleeping right now. Wow, I prayed for that baby for years. I'm not invalidating you, and I am not saying that it's not real because, I mean, I'm in therapy, of course it's real. But again, I said this earlier, we're just selfish as humans. It's just in our nature to be very self-centered, and it can really bite us in the butt sometimes because then all we are seeing is that problem, my problems. I'm not saying if you list out all 5 things you're grateful for, your anxiety suddenly disappears. I'm just saying in the moment when you're starting to panic and you're really spiraling, I have to physically like look up, look around, take myself out of that space until I can be more rational, if that makes sense. I don't know if that was a good answer, but I'm not a therapist. Go see a therapist. I think that was all the questions that aren't about pregnancy and motherhood. Sorry if this is not interesting to you. I'll start with pregnancy. Okay, first trimester advice. So I have a whole pregnancy playlist on my channel if you are interested. I did a whole first trimester vlog, a second trimester recap, and then a third trimester vlog. And I gave you tons of details, tons of things I was doing in all of those stages to help. But my biggest, I think, advice for the first trimester, which if you're new here, or you haven't seen any of those videos or haven't heard me talk about my pregnancy, Jordan, sweet girl, she kicked my butt my whole pregnancy. But that first trimester was brutal. It's really hard too because nobody usually knows for a little bit, but you are dying on the inside and you can't share why. So tell a couple people really close to you that can help you. I literally didn't tell like anybody for a long time. I think I was just honestly too afraid to, but next time I feel like I'm gonna tell the people that are really close to me, whether it's at work, like my coworker or my mom or, you know, my best friend, just somebody that's really close to you that can help you at work, help you at home, whatever it may be. And you don't feel like you have to kind of carry this burden all by yourself. That's really, really hard. Sleep as much as you can and feel no guilt over it, because you're growing a human, and those first couple of months, your body is working in overtime, and it is a lot. Even though you're not physically seeing anything happening, so much is happening, y'all. And I wish I would have just been gentler with myself and given myself more grace to just rest and not feel guilty about it, and to also ask for help. I didn't ask for help. I didn't go like tell my doctor how sick I was feeling. I just kind of thought, okay, this is just how it is. This is what happens. Once I finally told people and I got help, or I finally told my doctor how miserable I was, he prescribed me Zofran and my whole life was changed. Next time around, if I am nauseous, you better believe I'm going straight to my doctor and asking for medicine again. I just wish I would have done it sooner. And I guess that's my advice to you, is you don't need to try to tough it out. You don't need to try to be big and strong and brave and prove yourself to anybody. For a lot of people, it's really hard, and that doesn't mean you're weak. Ask for help. It's okay. And then I wanted to talk about pregnancy and teaching, because I actually had a lot of questions about that. I vlogged my whole trimester, my whole pregnancy. I also vlogged a lot during the school year. So a lot of you are probably around for that, like last fall when I was very pregnant, teaching, vlogging, sharing how all that was going. But again, I just think you need people to help you. If I was feeling super sick, my teammate next door, we had a game plan if I needed to step out. When you're pregnant, you also have to go to the bathroom 1,000 times a day. And as a teacher, that's just not possible. So I literally would have paras or like people who I knew and was friends with around the school that would have like a 5-minute break where they would pop in and they would let me go to the bathroom in the middle of the day. Or like my paras just knew at certain times of the day, like I would always step out really quick and they would like watch the room while I went. I also always had snacks on hand, because I was always starving. Have like a bag of snacks at work at all times. I definitely sat a lot more while I taught during those last several months. Oh, I also wanted to talk about like timing for having a baby when you're a teacher and you're considering this, because if you're like not yet a mom and you're a teacher, you've probably already thought about what the best time in the school year would be for having a baby. I thought about it. We've probably all thought about it. Okay, here's the deal. Your family, your baby is more important than like fitting into your timeline of your job. And truthfully, whenever you're supposed to have that baby, you're gonna have it. You can time and plan all you want, but realistically, it's not up to us. But I had Jordan in December, and so I was on maternity leave for most of December, all of January, all of February, and then I came back around spring break in the middle of March. So then I taught the last half of March, all of April, and then all of May, and then I've been home for the summer with her. And let me tell you guys, if I could have every single baby in that exact timeline, I totally would. It was wonderful. I didn't miss anything extremely important. I didn't miss the beginning of the school year where they're being molded and shaped, and I didn't miss the end of the school year where we have that closure. And like also the end of the school year is truthfully my favorite time of year, and so I really didn't want to miss that. I think January and February are my least favorite teaching months of the whole year, especially January. I hate January. If you have a sub that's maybe not so great, which thankfully I had an amazing sub, but if you have a sub that maybe got them a little bit behind, or you just need to kind of like get them into gear a little bit before sending them on to the next grade, you have 2 whole months or so to get them where they need to be. It was just the perfect timeline, you guys. So that's just my little plug, that if you are thinking about timeline and wondering when the best time to have a baby is when you're a teacher, and other people have had babies at other times and maybe they can share their experience in the comments, but highly recommend November, December, even January. It was great. I got a question about how do you deal with guilt as a working mom. This is what I've learned about motherhood, is there is always going to be something you feel guilty about. Whether you are a working mom, you're gonna feel guilty that you're not staying home. If you are staying home, you're gonna feel guilty that you're not working. The mom guilt is so stinking real, and it's self-inflicted, which is so annoying. It's such a personal decision, and one that I literally struggle with every single day. I am somebody that needs to plan out the next 2 to 3 years of my life, as if it ever works out how I planned, but whatever. I have learned since getting pregnant, having Jordan, that is just not real anymore. I can't do it. It's never worked, but now especially, I can't even plan what next month is gonna look like. I literally take it week by week, day by day, sometimes hour by hour. I've really felt this weigh on me in debating if I'm going to be a working mom or a stay-at-home mom, and I feel like I have to plan out. I feel like everything is so definite and set in stone that if I decide to be a working mom, I have to be a working mom for the rest of my life. Or if I decide to be a stay-at-home mom, I'm stuck being a stay-at-home mom the rest of my life. And neither of those are true. Again, this is something that I have to look up and stop looking at just me and my circumstances and realize there are a lot of stay-at-home moms who are incredible, but there are a lot of working moms. I mean, if you look around at your workplace, there are probably a bunch of people there that are moms. I feel a lot of guilt sometimes that I'm missing Jordan's life if I work, and I'm a terrible mom because somebody else is spending more time with her than I am. But here's the deal. Your kid knows that you're their mom. Jordan will never look at me and go, "How dare you go teach first grade? Like, that was so selfish of you, Mom." They're never gonna say that. And as long as you are happy, as long as you are doing what you need to do, whether that's working part-time, working full-time, if you want to do that and that's something that brings you joy, then you should feel no guilt over it. And I'm talking to myself here too, because I deal with that as well, that I should want to stay home. I should want to raise my babies. And I do, but I also love my job, and I feel like you can't have both, but you can. You can love your job and also love being a mom. It's all about balance, and it's also all about what you need to be the healthiest and happiest version of yourself. I think that's gonna be it for this life advice video. I only answered a handful, but I feel like I talked for so long, so I'm gonna end this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I think I'm gonna do these life advice videos more regularly. Maybe I'll do one that's like teacher themed at some point, more teacher related questions. I don't know, we'll see. So make sure you follow me over on Instagram. It's also Elementary with Emma. It's always in my description. That way you'll know when I'm asking for the next submissions for the next life advice video. But thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye, friends.